Jody Holland back here with you with the Psyche of Success vlog. Glad to have you back with me. We're going to be talking today about goal setting. This one, if you are in sales, if you are in management and trying to get other people to perform at a certain level throughout the year, you do not want to miss this episode. It's going to be great. Make sure you also go to Amazon.com or JodyHolland.com, pick up your copy of Yay, I'm a Supervisor. Oh man, I'm a supervisor, now what? All the information is written out in there. Use these videos as well as the book, and then go to jodyholland.com/yaysupervisor.html, and you get the questions to ask with your team as you're processing all of this and learning the information. Today, as we talk about goal setting, I really want you to focus on what you want to accomplish. But I want to start with a little bit of an understanding of how the mind works. You see, your subconscious mind doesn't think in future tense and it doesn't think in past. It only thinks right now. The present tense is all we really look at. So when you're setting goals, you've got to be able to structure your messages in such a way that your mind goes, I accept that. So when you're setting your vision for the future, your goal of where you're going to be at the end of the year, the end of the month, or whatever, you say, today is, and you pick the date in the future that you want to describe what you will have accomplished. Then you write in present tense what your goals are. Most of us have heard of SMART goal setting: be specific, measurable, action-oriented, realistic, and time-defined. That is a great model for how you write out your goals. You've got to make sure that they're fully understandable. You can't say things like, I want to have more money. Because if I walk out to my car in a little bit and oh my gosh, there's a penny on the ground, I pick it up, I've got more money. I'm done. I've met that goal. If I don't make it as specific, then it's going to be that fuzzy goal that just doesn't really matter. I think there's one specific thing that really impacts us more than anything else in goal setting and goal accomplishment. And to me, that is the instant gratification monkey. That's that little thing that goes, ooh, you know what? We could watch YouTube videos about Justin Bieber's life. Let's do that instead of our work. And we get focused for 3.5 hours on doing the wrong thing. Tim Urban has a phenomenal YouTube video out there. You can get the link in the description of this so that you can go out and see what I'm talking about. He has this panic monster, which is the only thing that overpowers the instant gratification monkey. When you start thinking about accomplishing your goals, most people will do this. Okay, we need to have 50 new sales by the end of the year. We've got 52 weeks, 2 weeks of vacation, 50 weeks, that's 1 sale per week, piece of cake. Then you get to June and you go, okay, we have 1 sale so far. That means we have 49 to go. Let's redo our math. And then you get to November and you go, now we're at 3 sales. Let's redo our math. Then you get to December and you go, well, we tried. There just wasn't enough time. The simple truth was there was plenty of time to do it if you learned how to reverse plan. So I have a model called the target model. I don't mean target stores, but I mean staying on target for what you want to accomplish. The T is think from the end to the beginning. When I plan out what I want to accomplish for the year, I go, okay, December 31st, I need to accomplish this. That means it's going to take me, let's say, 100 hours to accomplish that specific goal. I then say, first 10 months of the year, I'm going to plan 10 hours on my schedule each month so that I've got 2 extra months as a buffer. So I've got 100 hours mapped out in 10 months focused on that goal. I then say, now, I will stay focused on just doing that during that time. In 2014, I set this big, hairy, audacious goal to write 12 books in 1 year. I didn't know anybody that had done it, and I hadn't heard of anybody that had done it, so I thought, that's my target. I want to do that. I looked at how much time it takes me to write a book, and I said, okay, I'm going to need 30 hours to write 1 book. And I had an editor that was helping and a graphic designer and that kind of stuff. 30 hours of writing. I simply mapped out my 30 hours during 1 month so that I wrote 1 book. Every month I had 30 hours planned for writing. At the end of 1 year, I had written and published 12 books. That's what you can accomplish when you think from the end back to the beginning. You stay on target. The A in target is assess your skills and your skill gaps. I had to think about whether or not I actually knew how to write a book. If I didn't know how to write a book, then I was going to need to go get some training and get some help, pay a coach, somebody to help me figure out how to do that specifically. I had the skill of writing, I knew how to publish my books, I knew all of that information, so I really didn't have a skill gap there. I just needed to focus on the planning and the scheduling. If I'm trying to become a greater leader, then I need to look at what greater leaders are like and look for the books that I can read, the courses that I can go through, and so on. The R is for recruit the talent needed to complete your goal. As you start thinking about who you need around you, I needed a graphic designer to help with book covers. I needed an editor to help with my copy and organizing and editing and making sure I didn't sound like an imbecile in the book. I had to recruit that talent and surround myself with the right people. So often people get obsessed with trying to do everything themselves. I have found that if I just find the people that are truly brilliant in that specific area, and then I give them the opportunity to operate within their brilliance, I'm happy, they're happy, everybody wins. The G is for give it emotions. Now, when you try to give your goals emotions, what you're trying to do is build momentum for accomplishing the goals and against not accomplishing them. I have found that we have emotional reasons more than logical reasons for doing what we do. Now, on an emotional reasoning standpoint, I'm going to write out how awesome it's going to be to accomplish my goal, how I will feel and what I will think, okay? Feel, emotion, think, logic. I'm going to put those together and I'm going to write for 5 to 10 minutes about all the amazing things that will happen once I'm a superstar and have accomplished those things. I'm then going to give some negative emotion to it as well. I'm going to write out everything that I'm going to miss out, all the frustration, all the disappointment, all the bad things people could think of me if I don't move forward. We have to have that emotional energy going towards a goal and the negative energy so that we don't stay where we're at. William James, the father of American psychology, said there's only 2 human motivators, the pursuit of pleasure, the avoidance of pain. So let's stack the deck so we accomplish what we want to. The E is for eyes wide open. You've got to be really honest with yourself. You've got to look at what's going on in your life. You've got to accept your shortfalls and figure out how to overcome those. But you've got to pay attention to what you're doing, and every week you need to be looking at, are you on target for accomplishing your goals? One of the ways that I do that in sales is I use poker chips. I'll take 3 different colors of chips and I'll say, okay, I need 20 of these white chips because I need to make 20 phone calls this week so that I'm moving forward. Because I know if I make 20 phone calls, then I will get to present to 4 people that week. If I present to 4 people that week, I get 1 new deal that week. I close 25% or more, but at least 25% of the people that I talk to. So I have just worked the numbers, and if I want to add a new client a week, then I have to do what I'm supposed to do. 20 phone calls equals 4 presentations equals 1 new deal. That's the way that I stay on target and I keep my eyes wide open. I know that if I look at the end of the week and I've still got 10 poker chips stacked up over here and I haven't made but 10 phone calls, probably haven't done my 4 presentations. If I haven't moved those 4 blue chips over saying I've done my presentations, I probably haven't gotten my deal. If I haven't gotten my deal, my 1 black chip, because I want to be in the black, then I know that I haven't moved forward the way that I should. The last letter in here in target is T. Talk about your goals to everyone. When I decided to write 12 books in a year, on January the 4th was the first speech that I did that year, the keynote, and in the keynote I said, I'm announcing to everybody that I'm going to write and publish 12 books this year. The CEO came up to me after my program and he goes, I want to talk to you December 31st. So December 31st I called him, he bought a copy of all 12 of the books. Good sale, and he brought me back to speak a few more times. When we set our targets, we build our emotion, and we talk about what we're doing in front of everyone, what you find is that you will not fail because you'd be too embarrassed to. So you go out of your way to set the right goal, to develop the right daily habits to become successful, and then to track what you're doing. The poker chip model was just an easy way for me to track. Now, when I'm setting my overall financial goal, I use marbles. I have 2 mason jars. One of them started with 200 marbles in it. The other started with 0. My job is to move the marbles from one jar to the other. And I write down each month how many marbles, financial success, that I had for that month. I know that I am on track for my year because I'm moving my marbles. After all, I don't want to lose my marbles at the end of the year by failing. So I look for little visual ways to keep it in front of me at all times and to keep focused on accomplishing something great. If you will follow the target model, you will find that success finds you. All you're doing is the daily habits because of your goals, tracking what you're doing, being honest with yourself, and accomplishing absolutely great things. So make sure you set your goals in the right way and you would be blown away at what you can do. People are still amazed when I tell them that I wrote 12 books in a year. I didn't do it because I'm the greatest author in the world, although I think I'm pretty good. I did it because I did the fundamentals. If you do the fundamentals, you find your success. Make sure that you look in the description below, follow this vlog, and I do mean subscribe. Make sure you follow me on Facebook, look for Jody Holland Training and Speaking, and look for me on Twitter as well. Jody N. Holland is my Twitter handle. I've got some cool stuff planned for you going forward. I also want to hear from you. Share this with your friends, send me an email, success@jodyholland.com, and I'll put your question on the air. I'd love to hear from you. In fact, if you can record a little video, I'll see if I can figure out how to put a video of you asking your question on the vlog as well. Can't wait to see you next time. Go get your copy of Yay, I'm a Supervisor. Oh man, I'm a Supervisor. And tell your friends about what's going on. I'm Jody Holland with the Psyche of Success.